Thank you for listening to Heart Chat Stories. I'd really love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a comment and share these stories with someone who might need them. Each story is meant to help you pause, reflect, and think about your own relationships, how you love, how you heal, and how you grow. If you'd like more insight into the stories or want to add one to your next book club, visit graceguidance.com. You can find the full collection there, along with reflection prompts to keep the conversations going. And remember, every story in Heart Chat Stories is a chance to rediscover yourself, one honest chat at a time.
I didn't have much time to shop. I needed to get into the store and out so I could make it to my next destination. The store wasn't too crowded, but it was known for only having one cashier. And with my luck, as soon as I was ready to check out, there would be a line. I grabbed my items and headed to the front. Damn, a line. I stood still, already rehearsing patience. Hopefully the cashier is quick and the person checking out has their payment ready. I wasn't in a rush to be irritated, but I was in a rush to leave. A line formed behind me. Then another register opened. People moved away, relief spreading through the space. I stayed put, and without thinking, I scanned the store. That's when I saw her. She stood at the self-checkout, basket resting against her hip. Her hair fell just past her shoulders, soft and unforced. A green sweater, deep, calm, intentional, groomed brows, subtle makeup, nothing loud, nothing accidental. Our eyes met, just for a second. I looked away. Then something pulled my attention back, like a thought I hadn't finished. Our eyes met again, longer this time. The kind of look that asks questions without permission. I couldn't tell if I smiled. I only knew my face felt different, lighter. Like my eyes were trying to say hello before I could stop them. Like they were asking if she'd ever sit across from me at a coffee shop and let December slow down around us. She looked away first. The cashier waved me forward. I paid, took my bag, turned. She was walking out the door now. Our eyes met one last time. No smile, no wave, just recognition. She stepped outside, the door shifting softly behind her. I followed a moment later, the cold air cutting through the warmth of the store. She turned left. I turned right. And that was it. No names, no words, no promise. Just the quiet certainty that somewhere in the middle of an ordinary Christmas errand, something real had passed between two strangers and stayed exactly where it belonged. On the way to his next destination, her presence followed him. Not her voice. There had been no voice, but the way she'd looked at him, the way something unspoken had passed between them. He replayed the moment over and over, not to romanticize it, but to understand it. Why didn't I say anything? He knew the answer. Approaching her would have meant risking interruption, risking rejection, risking misreading what might have been nothing more than coincidence. He'd told himself he was being respectful. He wondered now if he'd really just been afraid of disturbing the moment, afraid of being wrong, afraid of discovering that what felt meaningful to him hadn't felt the same to her. By the time he arrived, his thoughts were still somewhere between the automatic doors and the sound of the chime fading behind her. His friend noticed immediately. "You're not here," he said, leaning back in his chair. "You've been staring at that same spot for 5 minutes." He laughed it off at first, then sighed and told him about the store, about the green sweater, about the look that never turned into words. His friend listened, nodding slowly. "So you're thinking about a woman you didn't talk to," he said. "On Christmas, in a town where everybody knows everybody." I shrugged. "Sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud." "No," his friend said. Sounds like a small town miracle. Then he smiled. Post it on the community page. I frowned. Post what? The moment, he said. No names, no pressure. Just ask if the woman in the green sweater at the store felt it too. I shook my head. That's not how things work, he raised an eyebrow. You live in a town where someone can lose a glove and get it back before sunset. Everybody's on social media just to keep up with what's happening. If she's from here, she'll see it. I thought about it, about how this town moved, slow, connected, familiar, how people found each other in less intentional ways than this. Maybe it wasn't chasing. Maybe it was just leaving the door open. And for the first time since the store, I felt something settle. Not certainty, but possibility. I sat down with my friend's support beside me, phone in my hand, screen glowing brighter than it needed to. He didn't rush me, didn't joke, just stayed close, like presence alone could steady doubt. I created an anonymous name, something neutral, untraceable. I didn't want anyone who knew me filling in the blanks, turning a fragile moment into a conversation I wasn't ready to have. This wasn't for the town. It was for her, if she existed beyond my memory. My thumbs hovered. This is probably a stretch, I thought. The kind of stretch you talk yourself out of a dozen times before admitting you'll regret not trying more than failing. I typed anyway. Probably a stretch, but trying anyway. I was at the store today and noticed a woman in a green sweater near self-checkout. We didn't talk, but there was a moment. If this sounds like you and you're open to coffee sometime, feel free to message me. I read it twice, then once more, softer this time. It felt honest without being intrusive, open without asking too much. I hit post. The phone rested in my hand like it might vibrate at any second, or never at all. Either way, I'd done what I hadn't done in the store. I'd spoken. After I helped my friend finish his project and finally settled into a comfortable spot at home, I checked the comments on the post I'd shared 2 hours earlier. My phone felt heavier than it should have, like it knew I was bracing for something, curiosity, disappointment, or nothing at all. I hadn't expected much. Still, I looked. The post had gathered attention. Not answers, yet, but interest. Familiar small-town curiosity wrapped in encouragement, humor, and speculation. People rooting quietly. People guessing loudly.
Well, this is sweet. Christmas magic is still alive. Now this is how you shoot your shot respectfully. Green sweater? I was at the store today too. Okay, but this is adorable. Somebody tag the store. Small town, this will be solved by tonight. I love that y'all didn't even talk and it still mattered. If it was me, I'd already be in your inbox. Whoever you are, sir, this was brave. Plot twist, half the town wore green today. Not me checking my closet to see what sweater I wore. This is way better than the usual lost dog posts. Please update us, we're invested now. Aye. If she felt it too, she'll find you. Small towns don't miss much. Merry Christmas to whoever this ends up being for.
I scrolled slowly, letting the moment breathe. No message. Not yet. I set the phone down beside me, the house calm and still around me. Christmas lights humming softly in the background. Whether she would see it or not was out of my hands now. But for the first time that evening, I felt at ease. Trying had been enough, for tonight. I woke the next morning and reached for my phone without thinking. The message was there. A direct message, simple, unassuming, and enough to lift my entire chest before my mind could catch up. Anonymous user, I was wearing a green sweater today. Were you the guy in the tan Stranger Things shirt? For a moment, my whole being seemed to levitate, then gently settle back into my body. It was her. I typed yes and sent it before doubt could form. The reply didn't come immediately. 30 minutes passed, long enough for me to place the phone down, pick it back up, and remind myself to breathe. When her message finally arrived, it was easy, unforced. She told me she was new to town, that she'd been shopping for things for her new home. I told her I'd been picking up a few items too, helping a friend. A smile emoji appeared on the screen. Encouraged, I asked if she was comfortable getting to know each other through messages, or if she'd prefer to meet for coffee. The pause this time was shorter, but it still carried weight. Then her answer came. She said she loved coffee and was hoping to find a good one in town. I smiled as I typed back. We could meet at 1 and then try a few together. Her response was simple. She agreed. And just like that, a moment that began without words finally found its voice. Quietly, honestly, and right on time. We met on Christmas Eve, the town moving slower than usual, as if it knew better than to hurry moments like this. The coffee shop sat on the corner of Main, lights glowing amber through the windows. Inside, the air smelled like roasted beans and cinnamon, the kind of warmth that invites honesty without asking for it. She arrived first. The green sweater was gone, replaced by a soft cream coat, but he recognized her instantly. The same calm presence, the same familiarity that didn't need explanation. We both smiled this time. It wasn't the kind of smile meant to impress, just acknowledgement. You're real. I'm here. We ordered coffee and took a seat by the window. Outside, Christmas lights reflected against the glass, soft and unfocused. Inside, conversation came easily, not rushed, not rehearsed, just gentle exchanges about the town, her new home, his friend, the strange way silence had introduced them. There were pauses that didn't need filling, laughter that surprised them both. At one point, she wrapped her hands around her cup and said she liked how quiet the place felt. I told her it was usually louder, but Christmas had a way of softening things. We talked about coffee, how some places got it wrong, how others felt like secrets worth keeping. I suggested they try another shop next week, my subtle way of asking to see her again. She nodded, eyes warm. I'd like that, she said. When it was time to leave, we stood just outside the door, breath visible in the cold. Snow hadn't fallen, but the night still felt complete. No promises were made, no plans beyond soon. But as they parted, something steady had taken root. Not urgency, not expectation, just presence. And on a Christmas Eve that began like any other, two strangers found themselves walking home warmer than before, carrying something simple and rare. The beginning.
Thank you for listening to Heart Chat Stories. Every story is written with love, to heal, to inspire, and to remind you that new beginnings are always possible. If this touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so others can find healing through story. Until next time, keep your heart open and your spirit lifted.